Angela Lansbury's reputation in Hollywood was impeccable. By the time Murder, she wrote, premiered, she had already cemented herself as one of the most respected actresses in the business. Known for her poise, sharp intellect, and unmatched professionalism, Lansbury rarely aired grievances publicly. But even someone as esteemed as her had her breaking points, particularly when faced with co-stars she found difficult to work with. One notable example involved Priscilla Barnes, who guest starred on Murder, she wrote. Barnes, famous for her role in Three's Company, was a talented actress in her own right. However, according to interviews and sources from the time, Lansbury did not hold back her honest critique of Barnes' performance. During filming, Lansbury reportedly felt that Barnes' acting came across as stiff and lacking nuance. The scene they share required emotional subtlety, and Lansbury, ever perfectionist, noticed a disconnect in Barnes' delivery. To Lansbury, acting was an art that demanded commitment, attention, and respect for the scene. Any lack of these qualities was immediately apparent. She confided to close friends and colleagues that while Barnes had presence, she struggled to fully inhabit her character in a way that matched the tone of Murder, she wrote. It wasn't just a matter of professional pride. Lansbury believed that a strong ensemble depended on each actor bringing their best to the set. When a co-star fell short, it wasn't just a minor flaw. It impacted the entire production. She took her role seriously, and she expected others to do the same. Her comment about Barnes, while candid, reflected a broader philosophy that acting was a craft requiring discipline and attention to detail. She reportedly told colleagues that she wished Barnes had approached the role with more preparation and emotional depth. The incident sparked a small wave of controversy in entertainment circles. Fans and media outlets debated whether Lansbury had crossed a line by publicly commenting on a co-star's abilities. Some argued she was being unnecessarily harsh, while others defended her honesty, emphasizing her decades of experience and the standards she upheld, regardless of public opinion. It underscored a harsh truth about Hollywood. Even highly professional, charismatic stars could clash when artistic standards weren't aligned. Despite this, Lansbury's critique did not result in any major fallout for Barnes. In fact, Barnes continued her career and garnered recognition for other roles. But for Lansbury, the experience remained a reminder of how crucial professional chemistry was on set. It also illustrated that even in a world often glamorized for its camaraderie and glittering premieres, tension behind the scenes was inevitable. The Barnes incident became one of the few publicly known moments where Lansbury openly shared her frustrations, shedding light on the realities of working with others in a high-pressure, high-visibility environment. Ultimately, this story reveals a balance Lansbury maintained between professionalism and candidness. It highlights her commitment to quality, her intolerance for subpar performances, and her unflinching honesty when faced with challenges, qualities that contributed to her legendary status in Hollywood. Angela Lansbury's decades-long career was marked by extraordinary professionalism, yet she was never one to hide her true feelings when a co-star's behavior fell short of her expectations. One of the more notorious examples involved a young actor who joined the cast of Murder. She wrote early in its run. While the identity of this actor has been kept largely vague in public accounts, insiders describe him as talented but exceedingly arrogant, someone whose charm masked a tendency toward entitlement and recklessness on set. Lansbury, who had spent her life honing her craft and respecting the nuances of performance, reportedly found this behavior intolerable. The young actor's reputation for being difficult emerged almost immediately. He would arrive late, sometimes unprepared, and often seemed more interested in making an impression than in contributing meaningfully to the scenes. Lansbury, who valued preparation and discipline above all, found this deeply frustrating. According to interviews with crew members, she would quietly observe his performances and, on multiple occasions, offer guidance and subtle corrections. Yet her suggestions were frequently ignored, leading her to believe he neither respected her nor understood the collaborative nature of television production. To Lansbury, acting was a profession, not a platform for personal flair or ego. She believed that every scene, every line, and every interaction had to serve the story, and she expected her co-stars to embrace the same mindset. When confronted with behavior that undermined the professionalism of the set, Lansbury did not mince words in private. She confided to trusted colleagues that she found the young actor obnoxious and impossible to work with, and she made it clear she would never choose to have him on the show again. The situation created tension on set, though Lansbury was careful to maintain her composure in front of cameras and crew. Her criticism was always measured, never public, yet the atmosphere between her and the actor was reportedly tense. Some crew members recalled that the young actor's antics caused delays and created friction, but Lansbury's quiet authority and seasoned experience ensured that production continued smoothly. This incident highlighted a larger truth about working in Hollywood. Experience, discipline, and professionalism often outweighed raw talent when it came to fostering a productive and respectful work environment. Despite the tension, Lansbury's handling of the situation was a study in poise. She avoided public confrontation while clearly communicating her boundaries, setting a standard that many younger actors came to respect over time. Her insistence on accountability did not stem from pettiness, but from a deep commitment to excellence and the integrity of her craft. Over the years, she shared the story with a mix of humor and exasperation, often framing it as a lesson about the challenges of mentoring new talent in a demanding industry. Ultimately, the young actor controversy stands as a testament to Lansbury's dedication to professionalism. It underscores her unwillingness to compromise her standards, even when it involved managing personalities far younger and less experienced than herself. Through it all, Lansbury's career flourished, and her reputation as a consummate professional remained unshaken, proving that honesty, discipline, and high expectations could coexist with grace and charm in Hollywood's competitive world. Angela Lansbury's career spanned decades, yet even someone as accomplished as she occasionally encountered co-stars whose approach to acting and professionalism tested her patience. One notable example was her experience working with Raquel Welch on the 1970 film The Wild Party. Welch, already a Hollywood icon known for her striking beauty and magnetic screen presence, carried a reputation for being both demanding and particular about her roles. While Lansbury had no shortage of experience navigating the personalities of co-stars, the dynamics with Welch were especially challenging, highlighting the sometimes unpredictable nature of collaboration in Hollywood. Reports from the set indicate that Welch's strong personality often clashed with the structured, disciplined environment Lansbury favored. While Lansbury approached each scene with meticulous preparation and attention to emotional nuance, Welch was described as more spontaneous, relying heavily on instinct and charisma rather than detailed rehearsal. To Lansbury, this approach sometimes seemed careless, and she quietly expressed her concerns to the director and other colleagues. She believed that in a film with complex character interactions, the lack of preparation could undermine not only her performance, but the overall cohesion of production. Director James Ivory later commented on Welch's behavior, stating that she could be very, very difficult to work with, citing moments when she insisted on redoing scenes according to her own vision rather than collaborating with the director or fellow actors. While Lansbury never publicly criticized Welch, insiders noted that she had to exercise remarkable patience to navigate these tensions without disrupting the flow of filming. She reportedly relied on subtle guidance, suggesting adjustments and tweaks with tact and diplomacy, but always maintaining her boundaries and expectations for professionalism. Lansbury's experience with Welch was not a matter of personality dislike, but a professional challenge. She had spent years refining her craft, understanding the nuances of timing, emotion, and dialogue delivery, and she expected her co-stars to engage with the same level of commitment. When faced with contrasting style, Lansbury's response was measured yet firm. She focused on what was necessary for the scene in the film, often adapting her own performance to compensate for Welch's approach, while quietly holding her co-star accountable in ways that preserved decorum on set. The experience also illuminated Lansbury's skill in navigating Hollywood hierarchies. Welch was an established star whose presence commanded attention, Yet Lansbury managed to maintain her authority and professionalism without publicly undermining or confronting her. This balance required emotional intelligence, patience, and strategic thinking, a combination that Lansbury had honed over decades of stage and screen work. For many younger actors observing the interaction, Lansbury's handling of Welch was a masterclass in maintaining composure and influence, even in the face of challenging co-stars. Ultimately, the Raquel Welch experience reinforced a recurring theme in Lansbury's career: her unwavering commitment to professionalism. While others might have reacted impulsively to Welch's challenging behavior, Lansbury maintained her focus, ensuring that the quality of her performance and the integrity of production remained uncompromised. This incident stands as a testament to Lansbury's poise, adaptability, and ability to navigate even the most difficult professional relationships in Hollywood with grace and intelligence. Angela Lansbury and B. Arthur were two titans of Hollywood television, each carving out careers defined by intelligence, wit, and strong screen presence. While both women earn immense respect for their work, their overlapping status as prominent actresses inevitably created a subtle sense of competition, a dynamic that became one of the more intriguing aspects of Lansbury's professional life. Though neither woman publicly feuded, Hollywood insiders and biographers often noted a quiet rivalry, particularly as both led hit television series that appealed to similar audiences. Lansbury's Murder, She Wrote, and Arthur's Maud, and later The Golden Girls were cultural touchstones, and comparisons were inevitable. The dynamic between Lansbury and Arthur was not antagonistic in the traditional sense. They did not engage in open conflict or public insults, and both were known for their professionalism. However, industry insiders observed that each woman was keenly aware of the other's accomplishments, and moments of tension occasionally surfaced during award seasons, interviews, and industry gatherings. Hollywood, after all, thrived on such contrasts. Networks, producers, and journalists loved to frame stories around rivalries, sometimes exaggerating them for dramatic effect. For Lansbury and Arthur, the rivalry was as much a product of public perception as it was a reflection of reality. In private, Lansbury approached the dynamic with her characteristic pragmatism. She recognized Arthur's talent and respected her contributions to the industry, but she also maintained a clear sense of her own standards and expectations. Lansbury's meticulous work ethic, honed over decades of stage, screen, and television experience, often set her apart from her peers. While Arthur brought her own intelligence and comedic timing to the screen, Lansbury's focus was rooted in narrative precision and emotional nuance, creating a natural distinction between their styles. Observers often noted that Lansbury's performances carried a depth and subtlety that reflected her Broadway training, while Arthur excelled in comedic timing and sharp dialogue delivery. This subtle rivalry influenced more than just public perception. It also affected professional interactions and the way the industry framed both actresses' careers. Award nominations, casting decisions, and press coverage frequently juxtaposed the two, as if Hollywood demanded a narrative of competition between strong female leads. Lansbury, however, consistently prioritized her craft over perceived rivalries. She rarely engaged in gossip or public comparisons, focusing instead on delivering consistent, high-quality performances. The contrast between Lansbury's discretion and Hollywood's tendency to sensationalize tension highlights the challenges faced by women navigating high-profile careers during that era. The B. Arthur dynamic also underscores a larger truth about Hollywood. Success is rarely a solitary journey, and the presence of other talented contemporaries inevitably shapes both opportunities and perceptions. Lansbury's ability to navigate this dynamic with grace and professionalism contributed to her longevity and respect in the industry. She managed to maintain her status as a leading actress while acknowledging, albeit quietly, the achievements of her peers. Ultimately, the relationship between Angela Lansbury and B. Arthur was less about personal animosity and more about navigating professional respect, public perception, and the subtle pressures of Hollywood's competitive environment. Their dynamic serves as an example of how accomplished actors can coexist, compete, and even inspire one another without descending into destructive conflict. demonstrating Lansbury's consistent poise and intelligence in managing her career. Angela Lansbury and Jane Wyman were two towering figures in Hollywood, both celebrated for their versatility and professionalism. While Lansbury dazzled audiences on stage and screen, Wyman built a formidable career in film and television, earning accolades and public admiration. Their overlapping presence in the industry naturally fueled comparisons. Particularly during the height of Lansbury's murder, she wrote and Wyman's television projects. Though there is no confirmed evidence of a personal feud, speculation about tension between the two actresses became a persistent rumor among fans and journalists. The origins of the speculation were subtle but pervasive. Both women were nominated for awards during the same periods, often appearing in the same industry events, press coverage, and televised ceremonies. Hollywood has always thrived on juxtaposition, and when two accomplished actresses operate in similar spheres, journalists and commentators frequently frame their careers as intertwined, sometimes implying rivalry where none exists. Some reports suggested that Lansbury and Wyman were cautious around each other during public appearances, but seasoned observers noted that much of this behavior could be attributed to natural professionalism of two high-profile women navigating crowded, high-pressure environments. Lansbury, known for her discretion, reportedly never publicly addressed the speculation. She understood the pitfalls of feeding into rumors and preferred to let her work speak for itself. Sources close to her emphasize that Lansbury's focus was always on performance quality and narrative integrity, rather than competition with peers. Even if there was underlying tension arising from overlapping accolades or network attention, it was tempered by Lansbury's commitment to decorum and her decades-long experience in an industry rife with ego clashes. Wyman, for her part, maintained a similar stance. She, too, had established herself as a consummate professional who prioritized craft over publicity. Any perceived distance or coolness between the two actresses was likely misinterpreted by media eager to dramatize Hollywood relationships. It's also worth noting that both women came from different generational and stylistic backgrounds. Lansbury's theater roots and stage discipline contrasted with Wyman's early film career and adaptability in the studio system, naturally creating differences in approach and methodology. Observers may have read these differences as rivalry, when in fact they reflected diverse professional philosophies. The speculation, however, persisted, highlighting Hollywood's fascination with narratives of competition, especially among successful women. Columnists and fans alike found intrigue in imagining two legendary actresses at odds, despite the lack of substantiated conflict. This phenomenon speaks to a broader pattern in the industry. Successful women are often scrutinized not only for their talent, but also for their relationships with each other, with comparisons overshadowing individual accomplishments. Ultimately, the Jane Wyman speculation provides insight into the environment in which Lansbury operated. It underscores the pressures of public perception, the role of media in shaping narratives, and the importance of discretion and professionalism in maintaining a career. While the rumor of tension between Lansbury and Wyman may never be fully confirmed, it reflects the complexities of Hollywood life, where even imagined rivalries can capture the public imagination, influencing reputations and shaping legacies long after the actresses themselves have moved on. On the set of Murder, she wrote, Angela Lansbury worked alongside a variety of talented actors over the years, but one relationship that drew attention was her interaction with Claude Aikens, a well-respected character actor known for his rugged, authoritative presence. Reports from the time suggested a tension between Lansbury and Aikens, leading to speculation that the two had a personal dislike for each other. However, closer examination of interviews, production notes, and anecdotes from crew members reveals a more nuanced reality. The perceived animosity was largely a misunderstanding stemming from character dynamics rather than personal conflict. Aikens appeared in multiple episodes of Murder. She wrote, portraying characters whose personalities often contrasted sharply with Lansbury's iconic Jessica Fletcher. Many of these roles were written as antagonistic or morally ambiguous figures, creating scenes that required Lansbury to react with a mix of skepticism, confrontation, or exasperation. To viewers, and even some crew members, Lansbury's intense on-screen reactions were misinterpreted as off-screen tension, feeding rumors that she disliked Aikens personally. In reality, Lansbury's commitment to authenticity and nuanced performance demanded that she fully inhabit her interactions with his characters, making any casual observer think the friction was real. Insiders note that Lansbury had a reputation for professionalism and respect toward co-stars, even in challenging situations. She understood that convincing storytelling often required strong on-screen conflicts, and she approached her scenes with Aikens with the same dedication she applied to every other actor, rather than being an expression of dislike. Her reactions reflected her mastery of character work and her dedication to the craft. Sources close to Aikens corroborated this, stating that he never sensed personal animosity and found Lansbury's focus and work ethic inspiring. The misunderstanding also highlights the challenges of perception in television production. When seasoned actors deliver powerful, emotionally charged performances, it is easy for outsiders to conflate on-screen drama with real-life dynamics. Lansbury, aware of this tendency, maintained her composure and avoided public comment, allowing performances to speak for themselves. Her discretion ensured that the focus remained on the narrative rather than personal conflicts, reinforcing her reputation as a consummate professional. This situation further emphasizes Lansbury's ability to navigate complex interpersonal and professional dynamics in Hollywood. She balanced delivering compelling performances with maintaining positive relationships off-camera, demonstrating emotional intelligence and adaptability. By treating Aikens with respect while fully committing to their character interactions, she turned what could have been a source of tension into a showcase of her skill and poise. Ultimately, the Claude Aikens misunderstanding reinforces a recurring theme in Lansbury's career. Perception often differs from reality, and rumors of personal conflict are not always accurate. Lansbury's focus, professionalism, and commitment to the craft ensured that her performances and the production she worked on remained impeccable. The tension, real or imagined, became part of the lore of murder, she wrote, illustrating how skilled actors can blur the line between reality and storytelling while maintaining respect and integrity off-screen. Angela Lansbury's career was extraordinary, not only for its longevity, but also for the integrity and professionalism she maintained throughout decades in Hollywood. While the previous sections explored instances where she encountered challenging co-stars, whether Priscilla Barnes' wooden delivery, a young actor's arrogance, Raquel Welch's demanding approach, subtle competitive dynamics would be Arthur, speculative tension with Jane Wyman, or the misunderstanding with Claude Aikens. They all collectively reveal how Lansbury navigated complex interpersonal dynamics with poise and intelligence. These stories are not just gossip. They illuminate the reality of what it means to maintain excellence in a demanding and often unforgiving industry. Lansbury's interactions with difficult co-stars demonstrate her unwavering commitment to craft. She was never one to compromise her standards, and she expected the same dedication from those around her. Yet, her professionalism extended beyond personal opinions or criticisms. She understood that public perception and behind-the-scenes diplomacy were equally important to sustaining a successful career. When faced with challenging personalities, Lansbury responded with a combination of patience, strategic guidance, and quiet authority. She maintained composure, ensured that production stayed on track, and subtly influenced her co-stars to bring out their best performances without resorting to public confrontations or gossip. The patterns in Lansbury's experiences reveal several key qualities that defined her professionalism. First, her commitment to preparation and discipline meant that she consistently delivered performances that were nuanced and credible, no matter the situation. Second, her emotional intelligence allowed her to navigate egos and conflicts tactfully, balancing assertiveness with diplomacy. Third, her discretion ensured that rumors and misinterpretations did not overshadow the work itself. Even when speculation arose, such as a rumored tension with Jane Wyman or the misunderstanding with Claude Aikens, Lansbury never contributed to sensationalism, focusing instead on her craft and maintaining her reputation. Moreover, these experiences underscore a larger truth about Hollywood. Success is rarely achieved in isolation. Actors must work within collaborative environments, and the ability to navigate personalities, maintain focus, and adapt to challenges is often as crucial as talent itself. Lansbury exemplified this principle, demonstrating that professionalism and skill could coexist with honesty and discernment. She managed to hold her ground, uphold her standards, and still earn respect and admiration from peers, directors, and audiences alike. In reflecting on Lansbury's legacy, it becomes clear that her approach to dealing with challenging co-stars contributed significantly to her longevity and continued relevance. She demonstrated that maintaining high standards does not require hostility. Instead, it requires patience, intelligence, and an unwavering dedication to excellence. Her career serves as a guide for aspiring actors and professionals across fields, illustrating how integrity and grace can navigate even the most complex interpersonal dynamics. Ultimately, the stories of Angela Lansbury and her interactions with fellow actors remind us that behind every iconic performance lies a professional committed not only to art, but to respect, discipline, and the subtle skill of managing human relationships. Her ability to balance excellence with diplomacy remains a defining feature of her remarkable career, and her legacy continues to inspire actors and audiences alike.